Hello everybody and welcome back to another new vlog. Thank you for joining me once again. I'm back in Stratford-upon-Avon today and I thought I'd come down here and just record another vlog just for the sake of it. I want to try and walk a little bit further along the river from where I have previously walked, just because I don't know what I'm going to find there, so this could be quite interesting and I'm looking forward to finding some new and interesting compositions. It is of course well known around here for being the home of William Shakespeare, probably the best known of all of our playwrights in history, to be quite honest with you, a man who's inspired so many others. But I'm interested now in this building behind me. I have no idea what it is, but it makes a really interesting composition just sitting here at the side of a woodland path by the River Avon. So I've got to stop here and take a photo of it anyway, just simply because I don't know what it is and it's interesting. So I'll set this one up and take the photo. Here's the shot now. So I've walked a little way along the River Avon from the town centre in Stratford, and just behind me, I don't know how well you can see that, it's a beautiful road bridge that spans the River Avon. I've tried to have a look and see if I can find an interesting composition of that bridge, and I've walked around it a couple of times. That itself is the road bridge, but just behind that there's also a footbridge which is also very interesting. And I think there might be a shot from this side of the river, but the other side of the two bridges, which takes in both of those bridges. So I'm going to first of all take a shot here because I'm off the path and out of the way of everybody else, and I can set up my tripod perfectly. But also then I'm going to have a walk back along the path here to the other side of the bridges and take the photo again from there. Now the eagle-eyed amongst you will notice my camera on the tripod behind me, already set up in portrait mode, and that's because I've just taken a portrait shot of that bridge. I thought it was quite an interesting one, but also I'm testing out a new piece of kit that I bought recently, and that's an L bracket for the camera, and I'll show you that just now. So basically you will see here that the camera is set up in portrait orientation. This little cage here at the bottom of the camera is actually part of the L bracket itself, and then you've got another piece of that L bracket that goes across the side of the camera. The idea is that it is an L shape, that's why they call it an L bracket, but what it does is it allows me then to flip my camera into portrait orientation or landscape orientation, depending on which I feel like shooting at the time, and it makes it very easy to do that. But also it means that when I'm switching to portrait orientation, I don't need to actually turn the tripod head to the side. Now this was the reason I bought this new tripod a few months ago, and I think I explained to you in a previous vlog when I was over at the Malvern Hills about the Arca Swiss plate on the top of the tripod. That means that I could then use one of these L brackets to do exactly what I'm doing right now. The idea is really basically because when I was using my old tripod I would have to turn the tripod head kind of in that direction to turn everything in portrait orientation, and when I did that it meant it turned the camera and the lens and all the weight of it to the side of the tripod, which made that a little bit top heavy and a little bit awkward to use. So by buying this L bracket it means now I can just flip the camera on the top of the tripod head rather than moving the tripod head itself, so that way all of the weight stays central above the tripod. I'm finding one very slight design flaw with the L bracket that I bought. It is a cheap Amazon purchase. It's a very good one. It seems quite robust and strong, and it's able to take the weight of the camera perfectly. It is designed for my camera, so it is very specific to that, but it means that it's doing a really good job. But the one slight design flaw that I found with it is that the actual cage itself, the L bracket cage on the side of the camera, the way it's designed, it means that it slightly obscures the flip out screen on the back of the camera. So when I'm trying to flip out the screen to look at what I'm doing, I've got a very tight working angle to use to actually open that screen up, and it makes it difficult for me to see what I'm doing on the screen whilst taking the shot. There is also an Allen key lock on the bottom of the L bracket, which I can loosen and extend the length of the L bracket so that the side of the L bracket isn't getting in the way of my flip out screen, and that would make things a lot easier. But it's a bit of a faff because it means getting out an Allen key, unscrewing that screw, extending the L bracket, and then tightening the screw again before I put the camera onto the tripod. That's quite a bit of a faff, and I think there are better designs out there, so it may even be that I'm already thinking of looking for an upgrade to my L bracket. Who knows? But anyway, I've seen a shot here that I quite like the look of. I'm going to turn you around and show you. There's a weir behind me, just over here, somewhere over there. I don't know how well you can see it, and I think there's an opportunity for a long exposure here with the long lens, 100 to 400, probably at 100mm, or maybe just a bit more, maybe 135, to get in close to that weir just behind me and see if I can capture a long exposure. I dropped a bit of a clanger on that last shot, folks. I hope the images come out all right. Let me explain to you the situation. Before I do, check out this lock behind me. That is the Colin P. Witter lock here on the River Avon. Just thought it was quite a nice, interesting composition. I photographed it before from up on the other side of the lock itself, at the end of the bridge that comes across the lock, and that's quite an interesting shot as well. Also, I was looking back in the opposite direction. There's kind of a metal framework, I don't know how well you can see it, just behind the bridge. There's kind of a metal framework that goes over the water here, and I was stood at the other end of that bridge looking towards that metal framework when I took the last shot that I took here some months ago now. In fact, probably just about a year ago now. I don't think I'm supposed to be in this particular spot, and where I'm standing, I'm very, very close to the water's edge. I don't know how well you can see the path behind me, and I'm going to have to set up the tripod here to capture a shot of that thing behind me. But first of all, what I'm going to tell you is the mistake I made about the last shot that I took. I set up the camera, put the lens onto the tripod, onto the camera itself, 100 to 400mm lens at 100mm. That's quite important. And then once I got the lens onto the camera, I decided then that I wanted to get the variable ND filter out and use that and make a 10-stop filter out of it, to create a 30-second exposure. I have actually done a 30-second exposure, but I discovered that I didn't have my variable ND filter. Now that would fit perfectly onto the 100 to 400mm filter thread, but I had my 10-stop ND filter. Now that's not a variable ND, however I wanted to use the 10 stops anyway, but it's also got a larger filter thread. It's a 77mm rather than a 67mm. So unfortunately that wouldn't fit on the lens, so what I've had to do whilst the exposure was shooting is actually hold the filter directly in front of the lens, and obviously I've had to push that right against the lens so there's no light leaking into the gap between it whilst I'm taking the shot. So I've had to stand there as still as I can with the filter held in my hand, pressed against the camera, and try not to impart any kind of vibration onto the shot. I hope it's worked out, so you'll know before me because the image will be on the screen now. Anyway, I'm going to stop here now and try and take a shot of this lock. Like I say, I don't know if I'm even supposed to be here, but I'm going to give it a go anyway. Now, I wonder how many of you have been paying attention recently. I mentioned that I shot that shot at 100mm, which was very interesting. The composition worked, and so I thought that I could get away with that 100mm. So I was using the 100 to 400mm lens, which meant that I couldn't fit the filter onto the lens properly. But obviously I realised afterwards that I could have just simply taken my 24 to 105mm lens out and used that at 100mm or 105mm anyway, and that would have been perfect. Plus that would have meant that I could actually fit the filter onto the filter thread on the front of the lens. But obviously, like a bell end, I didn't think of that at the time. Doesn't matter now though, I've taken the shot. Like I said, I hope it turned out right. I'm going to take a walk now into Stratford-upon-Avon town centre, and then I'm going to carry on walking further along the River Avon in the opposite direction, purely and simply because I've never been in that direction before and I want to go and see what's further north of the town centre. I started heading north along the River Avon. I found myself walking north of Stratford-upon-Avon along basically a main road with the river one side of me and just the main road the other side of me. There was nothing really to see there, so I decided to turn back and head back into town. I'm heading over now to the Royal Shakespeare Company, which I think is probably a really good place to finish off this vlog. But also I know from a previous visit here and from walking past this morning that there's a very nice shot there that I want to take. In the meantime, I've stopped on the footbridge behind me and taken another photo. I couldn't really vlog anything at all there, purely and simply because there's so many people around and so much going on that I couldn't hear myself think. So all I did was take a photo standing across the other side of the footbridge behind me, looking towards the bridge, the main road bridge over the River Avon, just here in the town centre, just there behind me. And there was a tree on the right hand side of the image as well, which looks very nice. It was on a little bit of an island in the middle of the river, and that was kind of leading your eye towards the bridge on the left hand side. So I took that shot, and now I'm going over to, like I say, the RSC to take my last shot of the vlog, I think. So just behind me here there is a little pontoon where there are several boats moored, and you can actually hire one of those little boats and take a little bit of a row down the River Avon if you wanted to, which would be quite nice in the summer. I'm not going to do it today, I've had enough really. I'm just looking at the sky now, and it's gone very, very cloudy recently, the last half an hour or so, and I know that according to the weather forecast this morning, it was forecast sunshine in the morning and then rain in the afternoon and quite heavy blustery showers as well. So it's kind of getting to that time now where I think the rain is not too far away. So as a result, I'm going to leave the vlog here. Hope you've enjoyed all the images, hope you've enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you again on another vlog very soon. In the meantime, if you have enjoyed it, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and also please remember to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And when you do subscribe, if you click the bell icon, and you can click on all notifications, and then you'll get notified every time I release another video or any kind of post or anything at all. So in the meantime, I look forward to seeing you again on another vlog very soon. Bye for now.